If you are about to start training your new dog, whether that's a new puppy or a new adopted dog, then this video is for you, because today we are talking about the beginnings of training with positive reinforcement. And along the way, I'm going to be dispelling some myths that you may have heard about positive reinforcement training, so keep watching. What's up, guys? It's Jenna with Dog Liaison, where I coach you on how to treat your dog's mental health needs. And on this channel, we break down scientific research in order to inform and educate us on how to train dogs. So if you're interested in a nerdier approach to dog training, make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you are watching this video, then you're probably in one of two boats. You're either one, you want to use positive reinforcement because you think it's ethically the right choice for you and you are ready for some positive vibes. Or two, maybe you want to use positive reinforcement training, but you have some qualms, you have some concerns that perhaps positive reinforcement just doesn't have enough boundaries for you. Either way, this video is going to be really informative for you, and I really hope you keep watching. So positive reinforcement, which is also commonly referred to as R+, is effectively the idea of training your dog what to do instead of training your dog what not to do. We decide to focus on the desired behaviors instead of focusing on the undesirable behaviors. Now, you may have heard that, well, undesirable behaviors are inevitable and so therefore you should just ignore them altogether. You may have heard the common idea from positive reinforcement trainers that you just ignore undesired behaviors. The reality is that we only act as if we're ignoring the behaviors. As far as your dog is concerned, he thinks we are not paying attention to undesired behaviors. But in the back of your mind, you're doing calculations. You're thinking to yourself, what do I want my dog to do instead? How do I achieve that goal? And if you set your dog up for a goal, let's say you give your dog a criteria and then he makes a mistake and falls short, then we do another reassessment. We go, okay, that was too difficult. How can I make this easier for my dog to achieve this new goal instead? We always consider that the dog is the learner. The dog gets the benefit of the doubt, right? The dog is allowed to make mistakes, namely because he's a different species than you, but also because we decided to domesticate and train him. He just came out of the womb ready to live his life, and then humans walked along and was like, hey, why don't you come into this civilized environment where you have all of these protocols that are not necessarily what you're genetically designed to do? So because we are giving the dog these criteria that he's not supposed to necessarily have to follow, we take it upon ourselves to give him the benefit of the doubt. Effectively, all of your training that you do with your dog is going to fall into 4 different training categories. So you're either going to be capturing, luring, shaping, or targeting. Now, for more information on that, I really recommend you check out this video in which I do a deep dive analysis of that, but usually your methods are going to fall under the capturing or shaping category. The awesome thing about capturing and shaping is that we're waiting for the dogs to do behaviors on their own. We're waiting for the dogs to volunteer things that they naturally do anyway, and then we reward that. And when we do it that way, A, it removes the social pressure for your dog to be correct. When we're not barking orders at them and they're sitting there going, what do you want me to do? Instead, they're volunteering things and saying, is this what you want? Is this what you want? Is that what you want? And when they're doing that, they're also becoming critical thinkers, right? They're finding patterns. They're seeing what's working, what isn't. And capturing and shaping methods allow your dog to think for himself. They allow your dog to be a critical thinker and problem solve, which is what we want our dogs to be able to do on their own anyway. We use the strategies of capturing, luring, shaping, and targeting by using something called a marker word, which basically identifies the specific behavior that your dog did that earned him the treat. The marker word should be the very first thing you teach your dog before anything else, in order to make sure that your dog is not becoming too reliant on you luring with a treat and bribing him. So for more information on how to implement that first step, you're going to want to check out this video next. Now, the marker word identifies that a reward is coming, but that reward may or may not be food. Yes, positive reinforcement trainers love to use food because food is high value. It is essential to your dog's life. They usually go bonkers over it. But it doesn't have to be food. The idea of a reward is that it is anything your dog likes. The idea of positive reinforcement is that you're providing anything that motivates your dog. So if you were trying to make a list of things that are not food related, but that your dog enjoys, I recommend you check out this video that's gonna lead you down that path. However, if you are thinking about using food, you're probably going to want to use something called treat scaling, which is effectively making sure that you know how valuable a certain food is before you give it to your dog. So it is important that you're only paying your dog comparably to how hard they're working. Sometimes you can overpay, but you don't want to overpay or underpay too often. You want to make sure that for the most part, you're compensating your dog for however hard they're working. And so for more information on how to set that treat scaling system up, this is the video for you. The most important part about training your dog with positive reinforcement methods is that positive reinforcement training is a lifestyle. Think about if you woke up today and you were like, I want to become a professional basketball player. Well, the first thing would be you start playing basketball more often. That would be necessary. If you want to become a basketball player, you got to play basketball. True. But in addition, you would also need to make sure your nutrition is correct. You would make sure that you can run for extended periods of time. You would probably circle yourself around people that are good at basketball. You would immerse yourself in that community and in that lifestyle in order for it to become most effective. And it's the same for dog training. You want to make sure that you are living your life through positive reinforcement mindset in order for it to be most effective. Because just giving a treat here and giving a treat there, and then likewise saying no again, and then saying over there, and then doing that, and then doing a little bit of everything is going to be far less productive. So in order to learn how to make your life sustainable in that manner, in order to find out how you can make training sustainable and lifelong, you want to check out this video that will help you in that department. So if you're ready to start training your dog the basics of using positive reinforcement training, make sure you check out this video playlist that I've created and go binging. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit like, consider subscribing for more nerdy content on dog training and behavior, and I'll see you guys soon.